Awesome. So first of all, I want to welcome everyone, especially all those live, but if you're watching the recording as well, this is going to be very, very cool. I know a lot of you are putting out content and you're relying on your content success in order to really improve your business success. And that's why I started to put together this content and do this webinar, because I wanted to hand over a lot of the really cool things that I've learned along the past and just really how to get a lot more reach, a lot more engagement, a lot more business relationships going in a way that can really support your business. And that's what we're all about here. We're all about having those internal divine gifts within you, getting more out there. And if you can do that through the success of your content, then you want to take some notes now. You want to take some notes and get everything down pat, because I'm going to go through the mistakes and misconceptions that a lot of people have. And really what I've done to, especially in the last year, really get 100, 200, 300 pieces of engagement on posts so that I can really start to build not only a business network, but those business relationships that really support my business as well. So is everyone ready for my amazing slides? I was going to just do a few, but then I had a flow going and I decided to do about 30. I think there's about 35 there, but I thought it'd be good to get a visual representation of what you're about to learn, because that's really the way we learn, hey? So I shall share my screen. While I'm sharing my screen, I don't think I can see the chat, but feel free to chat amongst yourselves. And if you have any questions, we'll see how much time we have at the end. But if we have any questions, we might do a Q&A. But feel free to put some questions in the Q&A box, Q&A tab that you guys might be able to see. And I might be able to get to them at the end. I'll stay behind at the end. And if anyone has any questions, then we can definitely rock and roll with that. So share my screen so you can see my pretty slides. You guys can see this. I think you can. Let me see if I can open the chat. Yep, you can. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Now, when I go full screen, I won't be able to see the chat, but no doubt you guys will be engaged and learning. So, yes, this is the Facebook training. A big bonus to everyone who notices my typos. There's always typos everywhere in my content. That's just a proof to say that it doesn't have to be perfect. But if you notice all my typos, you get bonus points. You get some brownie points with me. All right, so this is the Facebook mini mastermind training. The reason why it's called a mini mastermind is because at the end, I'm going to show you guys how you can come together to support each other's content. And the more you support each other's content, the more it gets pushed out there, the more reach you get, the more impact you make, and the more business relationships you get to establish. And as a byproduct, you get to have more people jump into your courses and your programs. So at the end, I'm going to show you guys how you can do that, which is really, really cool. And that'll be where we really, really apply this stuff. So let's get started. While you're in the right spot, if, as you know, you're on your heart's mission, you have this divine gift within you, you have this calling, this pull, and you're following it. If you're following it, you're in the right spot, because everyone on here is doing the same. And it's just a magical energy when we get to come together with everyone on their heart's mission. Something magical happens. I don't know what it is, but that's just what happens. So you want to create a business that's both purpose-driven and profitable, right? Purpose-driven and profitable. If you can create those two, then I believe you're well on your heart's mission, because the more purpose-driven you become, the more heart-centered your business will be, and the right people will come into your programs. And therefore, as a byproduct, it'll be more profitable, it'll be consistently profitable, and you can expand your reach because of it. And you want to do that through content creation. I'm not sure where all of you are putting your content, whether you're doing it through Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, wherever it may be, but you're putting out content in a way that's supporting your business, in a way for people to recognize you, learn about how you can help, and giving them calls to action to jump into your programs. And that's what this theme is all about. This theme of this event, this webinar right now, is to fill your program and fulfill your purpose. That's what I truly believe. If you're in business right now, the way in which you fulfill your purpose really is to fill your program. Because if you fill your program with clients that you fall in love with serving, you're changing their life. You're creating content and courses from your divine gifts. You're executing on your Dharma. You're in your zone of genius. And if your program's full with clients who are transforming, who are invested, right? You're now out of this scarcity mindset that many people find themselves in, and you're just in a space of abundance and ready to serve at higher levels. And that's what this is all about. So what's the challenge? I'm sure you guys can see there's a big challenge right now in the fact that many people are putting out content, but their content isn't getting much engagement. And when you get little engagement, you get few clients, which means low income and low impact. And if you've been in this situation for a while, you know, it's frustrating. It leads to a lot of confusion. People are like, what the hell do I do next? What do I need to do in order to gain more reach, to get more impact, right? What is it that I need to do? There's a lot of confusion out there. And I believe it shouldn't really be this tough. I know it's tough to go on the journey. And I know for a fact that it's not meant to be easy. We're going to learn some divine gifts along the way. We're going to learn some lessons along the way. But what really, truly, it makes me almost cry every single time I think of it. But it's when people give up on their gift. They give up on their Dharma. They give up on their heart's path because it's challenging. Because there's so many things in the way and there's so many unknowns. There's so many things going against them that they keep their gift inside them. I believe if you're here, you have a gift inside you, a divine gift that's inside you that's ready to come out and be contributing to the world. That's truly what I believe. There is a gift inside you that when given to the world expands, the world benefits in all ways, right? In every aspect. And I think when people are following their heart, and because it gets too complicated or because it gets challenging, or because society and cultural norms are not set up in a way that supports you, they give up and they keep their gift inside them, right? They keep their gift inside them and they live a life that they know they're not meant to live. They know they're meant for more. That's truly what allows me to go on my mission, my heart's calling, to really help people get their gifts out there, because it's not going away. It will not go away. You will always have that inside you. And if you don't put it out there, that's when you start to feel yourself dying inside, because you're meant for more. So that's the big challenge that a lot of people are facing right now. But what you learn here is really how to overcome those challenges using Facebook and using strategic content. If you have strategic content marketing, you truly can open up that boundary to expand your reach so that you can create more impact and generate more consistent income because you're getting your gift out there. And if you fill your programs, you can fill your programs by establishing genuine relationships, real genuine relationships. It's not phony marketing, with huge promises that are against people's will and against their best interests. This is genuine relationships. And as a result, as we know, when you do this, you fill your programs and fulfill your purpose, right? I'm sure you can feel when your program's full with clients that you fall in love with serving, you can step into your element. You'll just serve at such a higher level. And that's really what the aim is here. That's what the byproduct is here of using this strategic content marketing in a way that allows you to get yourself out there. So why Facebook? Now you can be on all programs. You can be on all platforms. I'm okay with that. Here's why I started to use Facebook. It can really help you not only spread your message and invite others to get to know you better, but do it in a way that builds relationships over time. Now, there are plenty of platforms out there where you can do more videos, where you can do more visual stuff, all those different things. But what I found, that's all great. That can all be used strategically. I use those things strategically. But I found Facebook the perfect platform to be able to build genuine relationships with people. You can reach out and contact someone, personal message them, right? You can send them whatever you like. You can have them see your content on your personal page or your business page, whatever it may be. You can invite them into your Facebook groups. You can connect them with other people. It just offers everything. It offers everything you need to establish real solid business relationships that are genuine and that are heartfelt. That's why I use Facebook, not only because everyone's on it, everyone's using it anyway, we're already on it, but it just provides all the resources necessary for you to build those relationships. And you can get to have more people learn about you without being pushy, without being salesy, right? Without being pushy, without being salesy, you can truly just strategically place your content in a way that allows you to reach more people, build more genuine relationships, and have the right people come into your programs. Have the right people who you fall in love with serving, and they're a perfect fit for your program to get the benefits out of your program that they can jump in. And so this is what we'll be learning, right? This is exactly what we'll be learning. At the end, I'll be talking a little bit about my paid program, but this is a no pitch event. It's the program's actually closed at the moment. I won't be inviting anyone in, but I'll be talking a little bit about that and how you can jump in after that. But here's the cool thing. If you're on Facebook right now, you can apply these strategies right after this event. And I'll show you how you can do that. But what we'll talk about now is your outcome. Everyone who's in my paid program, you know we have an income goal and an impact goal. But what's the outcome for you? If you guys have your pen and paper, you can write that down. You can write down what's the outcome that you're after, whether that's more reach, whether that's to create specific engaging content, right? Whether it's get 5 people into your group, right? Whether it's expand your Facebook group to 500 or 1,000 people. Everyone's going to have something unique, something different. But what's your outcome? Just write down something simple, something that's very, very tangible right now, and then write down your why. Feel into this. Why is this important for you? Why is this a must? What happens if you don't achieve this? What happens if you continue to be the same? What's your why? Why is it important you get your content out there, you get it engaging, you build genuine relationships with the right people? Maybe you guys can type in the chat. What's your outcome? Type your outcome in the chat and we'll, let's see what we can find here. Oh, Nicole's picked up on a typo. For Phil is 2 L's, but here's the thing, not in Australia. In Australia it has 1 L. So what is the outcome, guys? What's the outcome that you're after? So build reach and trust. What's for you guys? What's the outcome that you're after? Is it increasing your reach? Is it getting more engagement on your content? Is it building your Facebook group? Is it getting more people into your paid program? What's it all about? Reach more people who want to help healing. Awesome. Enroll 13 women into my program. Launching my coaching program. Awesome. Reach more people. Increase reach, building Facebook group, enroll into my program, inspiring others, building trust, launching group. Fill my program, build my Facebook group so I can enroll more people into my course. Beautiful. And that's what this is all about. Generate regular income. Great. Well, you're all in the right spot. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. All right. So we're back. So with that outcome, write your why. Why is this a must for you? This is important. A lot of people don't register. A lot of people don't take time to list their purpose. This is important because your mind, if you don't have a big reason why, you don't have your purpose, your mind will always default to what's familiar and what's comfortable. And what you're about to learn and executing on these plans brings up a lot of uncertainty, right? You know, these times when it brings up a lot of uncertainty, brings up some fears, brings up some uncomfortable emotion. If you don't have a strong enough why, you will always default to safety. You'll always default to what's familiar and what's comfortable. Your unconscious mind is just built to do that. And that's why this is important. So write down your why. Do you want to be an example for someone? Do you want to be an example for yourself? Do you want to live with more freedom, more abundance? Do you want to show yourself what's possible? Right? Do you want to be an example for your family? Do you want to just generate consistent income so you can travel, so you can have different experiences? Right? What is it for you? What's your strong reason why? Now, hopefully, here we go. My story. Many of you know my story. But I'll share a little bit about a component of my story that relates here. Because many of you know, I was a few years into building my business, and all of a sudden, I found myself getting some results. I found myself getting, the first real milestones of a successful coaching business. I was making my first 10K months. My Facebook group was growing. My engagement, the engagement on my content was getting a lot of support. And I thought things were going well until I also recognized I was very attached and hooked to results. I would post and then watch my post go. And if it wasn't getting engagement, I would feel unworthy. I would feel unloved. I would feel unseen. And so I would create a post. And if the post did well, that determined how I was throughout my day. If it was good, then everything was great. But if it wasn't, I felt unseen, unworthy, unloved. And so I was totally attached to results and outcomes. And therefore, life taught me a lesson. And all of a sudden, clients just completely dried up. I wasn't getting new clients. And in fact, 2 clients I had, through crazy circumstances, had to get refunds. And I basically found myself what it felt like back to zero. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? You know, when your life circumstances sort of start to fall apart and you're like, what the hell is this about? That was me. I had this fear in my stomach. I had this tightness in my chest. I was like, man, it felt like my world was coming down. Like, maybe I'm not cut out for business. Maybe this isn't for me. You know, all those doubts were coming up. And what I decided to do was recognize that I had this internal 5-year-old that said, you need to succeed in order for you to feel enough. Now, it was in my expansion at the start when I was building a business to sort of show myself that I'm capable of more. Until I got to that point, I had a deeper lesson to learn. And so I sat in this chair for 6 hours in one day and decided to, instead of build my business from a place of fear, I would actually just sit there and be a loving, safe space for the side of me that was scared. The more I did that, the more I started realizing that everyone else, all my clients, everyone that I had been talking to, were also growing their business. They were trying to grow their business and get their business successful so their internal 5-year-old could feel enough and could feel loved. And if you're here on this webinar, you might be at the point where you're starting to learn that lesson as well, where it's not that we need to build our businesses from a place of fear and scarcity so that we don't see, or we don't, need to confront this 5-year-old and the feelings that it comes with. But in fact, we need to sit with it. We need to feel it and we need to hold ourselves unconditional love. Now, what happened for me is I started realizing that all these fears were coming up to be seen, to be seen, to be felt, to be understood, to be loved. And to my surprise, the more I just sat there in a loving, safe space, the more they started to leave. The more they started to leave, I had tears down my face, just having uncertainty of money and sadness about past relationships and, you know, fear about where my business was going. And I just had tears and I just let it all be there. And then it just started to transcend. It started to leave. It started to move on. And I started realizing that the real solutions weren't in my action. It was where that action was coming from. And so the more I felt it, the more I started realizing that I was being guided. The more I felt it, the more I started realizing I was starting to feel this deeper connection, this deeper resourcefulness, this deeper level of creativity, this deeper level of flow and guidance. And I started taking action from that guidance. No matter how crazy it seemed, I started doing that. I started meditating 2 hours a day. I've been doing that in silence for the last 12, 13 months. And I had guidance that said, go do this thing, go start this Facebook group, you know, engage with the serving circle and fall in love with serving. Right. And I was scared because I didn't want to go back to that hooked place, the place where I was attached to results. I was like, but if I go and do that and I go and apply these strategies again, am I going to be hooked again? And I had to trust my masculine. I had to really trust and had to be in that space of sit in my feminine, allow those patterns to transcend, and then trust my guidance. And that's the exact lesson that I learned. What I learned is that if you were to create the impact that you're here to create, it takes both the spirituality and the business strategy. The business strategies are there for a reason. The business strategies and the action, we'll call it, is there so you can get your gift out to the world. But what's also important is the spirituality, is the feminine. It's the energy within you that allows that action to be healed. That if you can couple who you're being and recognize that your action's not coming from fear, but it's coming from love, compassion, understanding, contribution, then you can couple that with the strategies. You can use business strategies from a place of love, place of growth, place of contribution. That's what I learned. And this is what happened. Because I was able to do that, people can start feeling my content, right? And yes, I was getting a lot of engagement. You know, this is one of the posts I had around my meditation. And this is the post I had where I was gathering people who are interested in my beta course, right? And so you can see there's a lot of engagement here, and there's a certain reason for that. It's because I was coupling spirituality with business strategy, right? I was coupling both. And I get messages all the time of all you guys saying how much you can feel my heart, feel my spirit, feel everything that I'm pouring into these calls and the content, everything like that. And that's because I couple both, right? I can put all my heart and soul into a piece of content that can come from a place of love, but without the strategies as well, it might not get the reach and the impact that it's here to create. So can you start to feel that it requires both? That's really where I started. And this is how we're going to move forward in creating engagement. To create engagement, I've combined into 3 aspects: courage, content, and connection. Courage is your more spirituality. It's more who you're being. We can think of it. The content is what goes in the posts and how to use your post to get the most amount of leverage there. And then the connection is actually your relationships with those people. And that's what is going to go under the banner of engagement. That's what's going to allow you to get the most engagement, is these 3 aspects: your courage, content, and connection. And I'll go through all 3 of these, and we'll be able to connect them in a way that you can start using these. So courage is the first one, operating from being. So what do I mean here? This is the trap. The trap is that most people are placing the importance on the strategy. And as I just discussed, when you place the importance on the strategy, you'll be in no man's land. You'll be trying different things, and some things will work, some things won't, then some things will change and everything like that, right? We all know when we're chasing a strategy, we're not really looking for the strategy. We're actually coming from a place of fear. We're actually coming from a place of certainty. It's like, I want to move forward, but I want to be certain that I'll be okay. So I need the right strategy to make sure I move forward, but then I'm certain I'll succeed. That's not really how this works. When you place the importance on the strategy, you miss this. You miss your heart, your soul, what your divine gifts are here to share with the world. And this goes deeper than content, right? To your being. When you release a piece of content, when you do a webinar, when you do something, are you actually doing it from heart? Are you actually doing it because you're wanting to serve? When you reach out to someone, you build a relationship with someone, are you building that relationship because of what you can give or what you can get? This really is important. And what you can do is make decisions based on who you need to become. A lot of people are what I call the circumstance dance. It's weird to say, but it's the circumstance dance. It's when we create our decisions and actions based on our current circumstances. But if you make your decisions based on your current circumstances, then you'll always get what you've always gotten. Because what you currently have is a manifestation, is a result of who you were being before. So if you make your decisions based on what you have now, you will always be who you've always been, and therefore your results will cycle. I made this decision when I jumped into a coaching program last year, start of last year. It was 12 grand, and I didn't have 12 grand. But I jumped into that program even when I had, I think it was seven grand in the bank or something like that. I still jumped in the program, put a deposit down, and backed myself because I was making decisions based on the fact I was like, who the hell would I be if I already had that result? If I already had the results that I'm after, if I'm making consistent 10K months, and I'm serving and I'm being in a space of my flow, what decision would I make then? And that's the decision I made. And that's actually the very month that I made my first 10K month and was able to jump into the program and make it work. So I made a different decision, not based on my current circumstances, but who I wanted to become, right? So this is the question. Who do you need to be? What decisions would the version of you who's already achieved the results make? That's the question. Who do you need to be? So right now, breathe in and feel that version of you who's already achieved the results you're after, that outcome you wrote down. Who's that version of you who's already achieved that result? Feel into that side of you. Give that side of you a name. A silly nickname, whatever the first thing that comes to mind. And ask yourself this question, because this actually goes deep into your unconscious. But where in your body does that side of you reside? Is your stomach, right? Solar plexus, your chest, your head? Is it like all over? Where does that side of you reside? Just instinctively. That side of you who already has the results that you're after. And breathe that in and feel that side of you. Because this is the side that makes the decisions and actions that leads to you evolving into that side of you. And I see so many people who are making the same decisions and same actions from the same state, and they just go around in a spiral. I can guarantee you, you'll be in the same situation, facing the exact same challenges 12 months from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Unless you tap into and condition this side of you, the side of you that's already achieved the results. And this is what you can think about when you're creating your content. When you're putting your stuff out there, If you want more followers or you want more engagement, you need to be more followable. Think about it. It's not the content itself. It's the fact you're getting out there and you're putting out content and being someone that's worth following. Can you see how that goes deeper than just what you put on a piece of content? It goes deeper than what you say on a video. It's who you're being. Be followable and you'll get more followers. Be engaging and you'll get engagement. Is this making sense? Think about the people that you follow. You follow them for a reason. I actually get my clients in my course to do this. All the clients in my course, we go through this exercise where you list down the 5 people that you love following and all their characteristics of why you love following them. And then you condition yourself to actually be more of that, be more in that space of those characteristics. So that when you put out content, it's coming from here, it's coming from your best self, and people want to follow you. So that's my rambling about being. But here's the thing, let's hear from Lisa. There's a reason for this. Lisa, I'm going to invite you to become a panelist just for a moment. If I find your name, because Lisa's created a huge shift in the last few weeks. And rather than me tell her story, I thought I'd get her on and share with you guys what she did to create a big shift within herself. This is really going to help. Hopefully she's on here. Let's see. There she is. Now, this is Lisa. Now, Lisa's very inspiring. She's in my paid program. And I remember getting on the first call with her and it was awesome. It was crazy. It was insane. But as soon as we started getting on the phone together and we started chatting, we started working on our business, working on mindset, all those really cool things. Some amazing things started happening. But Lisa, first of all, feel free to unmute yourself. And feel free to share what your relationship with business was like before you started working with me, before you jumped into the program. What was your relationship with business and with money, all those different things when you started?
Basically, I didn't have one. Yeah. No relationship at all. Yeah. Very small relationship with my business. You know, I had a few clients and, you know, was getting some nice results. I had no relationship with money, like whatsoever. My story was, I can't have money. I don't want money. I don't want to deal with it. Like, yeah. It was not a good place to be when trying to run a business. Yeah. I didn't even really want to have a business because I just didn't want to deal with the whole money thing.
Yeah, exactly. So we jumped on the call. Like, we jumped on our you know, the strategy session, and we thought, okay, you're going to jump into this program, and with the outcome of getting, you know, consistent 5 to 10 grand months. And you jumped on the first call with me, and I remember you saying, you're like, I don't want to have a business. It's not for me. I'm like, I've never wanted to have a business. And I was like, oh my God, like, what are you doing here? But we dove in deeper. We saw this spirit inside you that really wanted to get out. But what was the shift that happened? Before we get to the results of what you're seeing now, what was the shift that happened for you, especially in the form of the way in which you're being?
Well, I mean, I realized finally that I had something of value to share, and I really needed to overcome this limiting mindset. You know, that's all it is just mindset. Everything is consciousness. So, like, I already had the spirituality part. I already had the consciousness expansion part, but I didn't have the business sense. And I had to learn how to think in a business manner. So that's why I reached out to Tyson, and you know, and pretty soon he started showing me that I already had all of the things that I needed. I just needed to see that I already had them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the funny thing is, like, we would get on calls where you're explaining why your program is so beneficial for people. Obviously, you help people heal from the inside out, and you do it from a place of love and helping them understand that the medical model is not healing them whatsoever. And in fact, it's making them more sick. And you went on this rant of just like 30 minutes of just like spouting out how passionate you are about this and how certain you are that the world needs this. And we tapped into that side of you started showing up, this unshakable certainty and confidence in what you're selling and what you have to deliver. And that's why I wanted to bring you on to talk about this. It's so perfect. It's so beautiful that you're able to create this shift, because now you're starting to serve from more of a place of integrity and confidence and certainty. And you're just in your flow. You're just in your element, right? So what's your relationship now with business? What results are you seeing because of this internal shift?
Well, I bit the bullet and launched my course. So I picked a date and said, I'm going to launch a 6-week course. And I put it out there and asked who's in. I'm doing a beta test, and, you know, I'm looking for people. And I have 8 people in my course, and I'm loving it. I love these people. I love doing the course. It's super, super fun. It's far simpler than I thought. I'm writing the content as we go, and the content gets simpler and simpler every week. And I'm getting great results, and I'm really excited about it.
Exactly. So cool. So cool. What's your relationship with money now?
Well, it's certainly been a whole lot easier in the last month.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. For those who don't know, Lisa just made her first 10K month, and she feels like empowered about doing it, right? And it's all because of this internship, all because of who and what you're being. And then that just comes through in your business. We're able to get 8 clients going through this course and just completely serving from that place of love and everything like that. So I wanted to just bring you on quickly just to share what this is all about. But just so while you're on, if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way?
Oh, they can reach out to me through my website, connectingyoutoyou.com. And I have a Facebook group called Soul Sourced Healing. I put all my content in there. So that's a great place to find me.
Amazing. Amazing. Put the links in the chat if you have some time.
Right, sure.
That would be great. So awesome. Thanks so much for that. Anything else you want to share? Anything else about any advice that you'd give someone if they're looking to create this shift, if they're looking to make 10K months, if they're looking to create this internal shift? What advice would you have for someone who's looking for that result?
I mean, really, it's all about being fully aligned with your dharma, like you say. It's you know, allowing it to come from the heart. And you know, I didn't try to sell my course to anybody. I just said, look, this is what I'm going to show you. This is what it is. If you want in, great. If you don't, I wasn't attached to the outcome to any of it. And honestly, I didn't even realize I had a 10K month until I looked back and went, wait a minute, seems like I did really well.
And that's what's cool. That's what's cool. Well, I could have you on here for hours, but I want to highlight on this because the outcome, your main focus wasn't on the money. Your main focus was on getting your gift out there, serving at a higher level. And as a byproduct, people felt your energy and people felt your certainty. And therefore they jumped into your program. Now they're loving it. Now they're getting the results. And that's what it's all about. The income is the byproduct of who you're being, right? That's an important key. And so you're being an amazing example for everyone who's looking to create this shift. But I just wanted to bring you on to share that. And thank you for everything here that you're doing. Feel free to throw your links in the chat if people want to jump on board with what you're doing and support your content, all those good things. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. No problem. So that's Lisa. Now, I see Monica's in the chat. Hey, Monica. Also, your chat set to all panelists. Feel free to put it to all panelists and attendees if you want people to see. All right, guys, let's continue. So that's what I call courage. Courage and compassion, really, is who are you being? And that's what we need to really understand. So, content. There's going to be a bit of information here, but you guys can feel free to take notes. But what we'll be explaining, I explain this, I teach this to my clients as well. But when you're creating content, there's certain things that you must understand, especially on Facebook, that you must think about if you're looking to get the most amount of reach, looking to get the most amount of impact. So here we go. Take a deep breath and let's dive in. This is the real question. It's like how to break through. I see social media as this platform where people are trying to break through, because there are opportunities that come up where you'll get a lot of engagement. For example, if a new platform gets out there, all of a sudden engagement will get expanded. If there's a new function, people get more reach, right? There's always these opportunities for people to get more reach until everyone uses it, and then you don't get as much reach anymore, right? Some people use video, whatever it may be, but we're all trying to break through. We're all trying to get past the noise, and we're trying to get into a space of people seeing our content, right? And do it in a way before everyone sort of jumps on board, and then it doesn't have as much impact anymore. So how do we break through? Well, like I say, most people are trying to put out good content, but it doesn't break that barrier. So who here has ever created a post? You spend like an hour creating this beautiful post, and then you get 12 likes or 8 likes or even 20 likes and 2 comments, but it does nothing for your business. It does nothing for business relationships. It does nothing for clients to find you. It does nothing for people to jump into your programs. And so we have to ask ourselves the question, what does Facebook want? Oh, it turns out I can see the chat. Awesome. So what does Facebook want? This is the question. I post to my in the group and on Zoom calls with the serving circle. I ask the question, what does Facebook want? That's what you have to do. If you're posting on Facebook or if you're posting on Instagram or YouTube, whatever, what does the platform want? The platform wants more people on their platform, and it wants people to stay on their platform. As soon as you get that, you can start to use it. You can really start to use it. So Facebook wants more people on their platform and more people to stay on their platform. And why? Because the more people on their platform, the more people using it, the more people staying on it for longer periods of time, they can charge more money for businesses to put their ads on their platform. If Facebook says, look, I have all these people on my platform and they are on it for 3 hours a day, they can charge a larger price for ads, and that's how they make their income. So how do you use that when you're creating content? Well, here's the thing. The more engagement your posts get, the more Facebook says, this is a piece of content that people enjoy and that are going to keep people on the platform. So therefore it spreads it to more people. We've all seen the post. You create a post and it might not even be a good post, right? But if it gets a lot of comments, all of a sudden it gets more and more comments, because Facebook algorithm picks up and says, this content is getting good engagement. It must be good. We're going to give it the benefit of the doubt and spread it to more people, right? And if it's spreading to more people, that's an opportunity for you, for your business relationships, and for the sustainability of your business profitably. I'll show you how. So that's how we use what Facebook wants. Now, what we can learn, I want you to ask yourself, what are the biggest posts? What are the posts that get the most engagement? If you were to look on your personal page, think about what are the posts that get the most engagement. What are the ones that people look at and be like, oh my God, yeah, I'll support that. I'll comment, I'll like, I'll do all these things. If I can change my slide, that would be nice. Here's what I've learned. Milestone posts. Anytime you have a first, an achievement, anniversary, breakthroughs, anytime you move past your fears, you put something out there, right? People get on board. People get on board. They want to support you, right? They want to support you, and they do that by commenting, by liking, right? Sharing the post. If you do a post that says, hey, I just ran my first marathon, right? Or I just had my whatever anniversary. Or I just broke through my fear and did my first speaking event. People are going to be like, holy shit, yeah, right? And they love it. They love supporting you. They're the ones that get the most engagement. And I'll share with you how you can use this. But here's what I've learned also. Putting these things on your personal profile gets you the most organic reach. A lot of people are posting on their business page and it doesn't get much reach, much organic reach. And here's why. Facebook wants you to pay for ads for your business. Why would they give you organic reach on your business page? But your personal page is different. On your personal page, you can get the organic reach. You can get more and more reach, more and more engagement, more and more impact on your personal page. But what you'll find is that the content is not necessarily business related. In fact, only a small percentage is business related. Most of it is milestone posts and what I call modeling posts. You being a role model in your life. Not necessarily a milestone like a huge breakthrough or a huge event, but you being a role model in terms of you being a parent, in terms of your health, your spirituality, so maybe some sort of hobbies, right? You being a role model in your life is really cool. So for example, a milestone post for me was when I did my first speaking event. A role model post was when I was taking cold showers every single day throughout winter. And I live in a very cold house. Everyone's seen me with my beanie and my jacket. I live in a very cold house. And so I apologize for the visual, but I would be in the shower and I would see my breath, very, very clearly see my breath, but then I just slam on the cold and have a cold shower. Because I was learning at that time, I was learning more about discipline. I was learning how to overcome the doubts and everything like that. But it was also because of the health reasons of having a cold shower. But that was me being a role model, right? Me raising a guide dog puppy, which is really cool. But it was me being a role model. Me on the journey of my health, of my spirituality, doing all this meditation. That's role modeling, right? You'll notice it has nothing to do with business. Or might have very few to do with business. And that's where the next comes in, your marketing message. Your marketing message this is where the posts are towards your clients, towards your future clients, towards your audience that are the right fit for your programs. Your marketing message, their challenges, their fears, their desires, content that's going to help them, right? So you can see this type of thinking has both involved here. It has on one hand, the content that gets the most reach, right? Coupled with your marketing message that lets people know what challenges you solve and how you help people. When you couple those, you get both. You get organic reach and you get more and more people learning about your business. Does that make sense? You might have a milestone post, a couple times a month. You might have role modeling posts on every other day, and maybe once a week you'll have a marketing message that goes out there. But because your milestone posts and because your modeling posts are getting a lot of engagement, when you start to post about your business, it will get a lot of engagement as well. Facebook will give you the benefit of the doubt and say, your content's good, let's share it with more people. And that's why, let me go back here. This post on the right-hand side was all to do with my business. It's like, hey, I'm opening up this course. It's going to help people integrate their spiritual growth with their business growth, right? With profitable business strategies. All of a sudden, I get a lot of engagement. I get 157 comments because I've been doing role model posts and milestone posts before that gets a lot of engagement. People get to like, know, and trust me. People get to know me, not just my business, so that when I do a post like that, it gets a lot of engagement, right? And you can do the exact same. Let me go back. You can do the exact same, because if you're starting to become more of who you want to become, like what we said, with courage, if you're becoming who you're becoming, like what Lisa was talking about, you will have more milestone and role model posts to put out there. How was I able to do my first speaking event, right? Or have all these role modeling posts? I become the person that can actually post about it. Actually do it in your life, become that person, and you'll be able to create those posts. But then you can also feed in your marketing message. I'll talk a little bit about marketing message a little bit later. But then within this, you also have your call to actions. Not very often, not on every post, right? But every so often, you'll also have a call to action. Join my group, right? Sign up here for my freebie. Or engage on this post and you'll get this. Or join the Facebook group, join my programs, join this webinar, whatever it may be. You also put out your call to actions and mixed in there, and you'll also build those relationships, right? So putting in these pieces, these types of content, these types of posts are what's going to allow your engagement to expand, while also allowing people to learn more about your business and how you can help. And if you do this on your personal page, then it'll definitely get the most organic reach, and you can funnel people into more of your Facebook groups and supporting your business content and all those different things. That's how you can build relationships, and they can get to like, know, and trust you over time. This making sense, guys? Type a yes in the chat if you're still with me and if this is making sense. I hope so, because this is what I learned, a couple of years ago, and that's why the serving circle is where it's at. That's why my content, you can even look on my personal page, and just take a scroll down to have a few examples, but this is exactly what I've learned. So Nicole's asking, when you post on your personal page, do you also post on your business page? You can if you want. I just mostly work on the personal page. If you're at a position where you're starting to invest in ads, that's when you start to do that. In the paid program, the real goal is for people who are looking to get their first 5 to 10K months and do that consistently. So it's not necessarily at the point where you're investing in ads. That's more to scale. So working on your personal page is what I found is important. But you can post on your business page as well. Just don't expect that to get the same organic reach. So the schedule. This in and of itself can be its own content. You don't have to have a podcast or a YouTube channel or a TikTok or Instagram, whatever. This in itself on your personal page can be all the content you need to build a business that's getting those 5 to 10K months. This is all you need if you're doing it in the right way. And all you need is 12 posts 12 posts per month. It's only 3 posts per week. You don't need to post every day. You don't need to post 5 times a day. This is what I've learned. 3 posts per week in the right way that gets the right engagement is more than enough. It's more than enough for people to continue to see you time and time and time again and build that relationship. Nowadays, people need to see you about 12 to 16 times. It's probably even more now, before they like, know, and trust you enough to buy. And so if you do 3 posts per week, 12 posts per month, you're doing a few milestone posts, a few modeling posts, role model posts, and a few things to do with your marketing message, you're going to get this, you're going to get your engagement up, and you're also going to have more people learn about your business, and you can mix in some calls to action. That's when I worked with Lisa, for example, on her messaging and her content and how she started building relationships, things like that. She put it out there, and she had that call to action that said, hey, I'm running this program. It's a beta program, it's a paid program, but it's a beta program, and this is what we're doing. She got those people signed up into her course. Now they're all loving it. Now she's just in her flow. So this needs consistency to get some engagement, to get some momentum. It needs consistency, but only 3 posts per week is all you need. If you spend your time doing that and you keep doing it, that's cool. You can do this just to get started, like what I did. I did a lot of this to get started. And then now I'm mostly focused towards the podcast and towards the Facebook group and everything like that. But in order to grow the Facebook group, I did this. And now I'm mostly nurturing and looking after everyone in the serving circle because I love it so much. And I'm posting on my personal page here and there as well. I'm still using these strategies, but this in and of itself can be used to grow something else until you get a lot of momentum there, and then you can shift it. So it does need consistency. Okay, implementation. Right now, or when you have some time, write down 5 topics that would be a great milestone or role model post. Milestone, role model post. You can write down right now aspects of your life where you're being a role model, or breakthroughs, or firsts. You know, things in your life that are milestones or where you're being a role model. Write down just 5. And that'll give you some good creativity, some momentum, some things like that, so that you can, so that when you're creating those posts, you can really do that. And I'll show you guys in a minute how you can all come together so that you can start supporting each other's content, and which will obviously expand the reach. So while I take a drink of water to soothe my throat because I'm talking too much, feel free to write down 5 topics. This might be with your, as a parent, as a pet owner, things to do with your health, your spirituality, your fitness. You can couple this with the earlier question, who do I need to be? If I don't have many things in terms of my being a role model or doing a milestone, who do I need to be do those things to then be able to create the post, right? All right, ready to move on? If you're ready to move on, we can do that. It's okay if you don't have 5 topics right now. You can do that in your own time, but you can brainstorm some ways and some areas of creativity. So connection. Who here knows that I love connecting people? Who here knows that I love connecting with people in general? All right. And here is why. This is the 3rd component of creating engagement. It is connection. Now, this is the one, I swear, This is the one that people don't want to do and that they can't be bothered doing. But I can guarantee it's the aspect that most people are missing if they're wanting consistent engagement. If they're wanting consistent engagement with their content, this is the one thing that most people miss. Now, if you don't have an audience of 10,000 people, you have an opportunity right now. You have an opportunity. The opportunity is to be more intimate, build those genuine relationships, and that's what supports your business. A lot of people are focusing, okay, if I have a larger audience, then more people will come in, which makes a lot of sense. That's why these posts allow you to get engagement. But you also have to recognize that if you do have a smaller audience and you currently don't have a lot of engagement, the best opportunity you have right now is to create more of that intimate relationship, right? More of an intimate relationship, more personable, so that you can reach out heart to heart. If you have something that's heart to heart with someone, that's the opportunity you have that big businesses don't have, or bigger audiences don't have, right? They have other areas to leverage. This is what you leverage if you don't have an audience of 10 to 50,000. And if you're getting small levels of engagement or a few people here and there, and you're looking to build that to 10 or hundreds, then intimate relationships and having that connection is really, really important. It's your opportunity right now. So these are the connection steps. This is exactly what I've done, exactly what I've used, and this is what you can use as well. It's adding people to your personal page. Now, you don't want to go into Facebook. This is what I did, but you don't want to do that anymore. Is just go into groups and just add people. Not advised anymore. But you can just do it. I'm sure you guys know how to network online now. If you have a business, you're already doing it in the serving circle. But going into other groups or having referrals or going to networking events, doing speaking engagements in people's groups or podcasts and things like that, there are unlimited ways in which you can add more people to your personal page. Now, adding people to your personal page that are people that you want to engage with, people that you want to build relationships with, people that you want to collaborate with, and ideal clients. Right? If you add people to your personal page and you add them as friends, they're going to see your engaging content. They're going to see your engaging content. And step 2, after you've added people, and this needs to be consistent, right? Even if it's a few people a day, just adding people on your personal page. Once you do that, once you have that as a consistent task, build a relationship. Here's the key. Write this down. Everyone who engages with your content, reach out and thank them. Reach out and thank them from a heartfelt place, from a place of connection, from a place of service. Thank them in a genuine way. Thank them for supporting your posts. Thank them for supporting your journey. Right? The reason being is because you'll build a relationship with that person that will lead to more if it's the right fit, but also they'll continue to engage with your stuff as well. They'll continue to support you. They'll continue to support your journey because you've reached out and you've had that connection. So reach out to them, thank them first of all, learn more about them, right? Ask them about their goals. Ask them about what they're doing. Ask them about what they're passionate about. Ask them about the challenges they're running into. And then serve them. We all know how to serve someone. We do it in the serving circle. Connect them with people. Offer a collaboration or a service exchange. Send them some resources, right? And if it's the right fit, if they have a challenge that you can help with, then you can invite them into your program or invite them on a conversation where you can start to see if you're the right fit. Building relationships with everyone who engages on your content, regardless of if they're a business connection or not, is what's going to help that that momentum. Keep building. Right. And then after a while, if it's the right fit, invite them to your Facebook group, to a freebie, right? To a strategy session to find out if their program's the right fit, right? Referrals, collaborations, all the good things. All right. I don't know if I have time to share my story, but I'll share very quickly. I did this with my friend Johan Noguera. Some of you may know him. Some of you don't. I contacted him and got on a phone call with him, and he was an incredible guy, wealth of experience, doing awesome things here in Melbourne, growing his business to 30 million. He's got these apps nowadays that he puts out there that just skyrocket and do really well. I wanted him in my network, and so I started sending people his way. I thought, you know what? If he's in my network, I'm going to be introduced to his network, and it'll be a really, really good business relationship. So as soon as I started talking to people who are high caliber, who are well far along the business journey than I am, I connected them with Johan. I kept doing that for a few weeks, and he got back to me and said, man, the people you've connected me with are so high caliber. They're so amazing. I'm going to give you a free ticket to my event. And so it was a 2-day event. There was $1,000 ticket. He bought it for me, and I was able to go there for free. What happened was, at the event, he was there were 12 speakers. Out of those 12 speakers, I met all of them and asked them the exact same question I asked Johan, is who can I send your way that would be an ideal client or a key source of collaboration? I started sending them people. And that's really how I built my business network. It was about building a genuine relationship with people and serving them through connections. Now, you didn't have to do that with everyone, but I'm sure you can start to see, if you were to start engaging with the people that engage with your content, build a relationship with them, thank them, ask them questions, learn about them, and serve them, that's going to create the consistency in a fan base that's going to continue to support your content. All right? That's really what I did. What do I have next? So this is the summary. To create more engagement creates courage, your content, and connection. All right, courage, content, and connection. You do all three, you're going to get more engagement on your content. You're going to get more and more reach on your content, start creating more impact. If you create more impact, you're creating more reach, that's going to support your business. So let me open up. Is this making sense to everyone? I've got a little bit left, but is this making sense to everyone? Feel free to put any questions in the Q&A section. I don't think I'll be able to go through all the questions in the chat, but can you guys see the Q&A section? You can put some things in there, some questions in there. Because what I'll talk about in a little bit is, what do you do with all that engagement? What do you do with all that engagement? But let me see, you guys still with me? Type in yes if you're still with me. Type in yes if this is making sense. Everyone's on board? Sasha, Hannah, Karen, Wanda, Tracy. Beautiful. Awesome. Glad you're following. How about we take a deep breath? Let's just get present for a while before we move on. It's quite a lot to digest, but even just thinking in a different way, even just taking a little bit of this, you'll see it'll make a huge, huge difference. So Barbara says, is there a best time to post? You can learn that stuff. I think that stuff's secondary. You can learn the best times to post. I generally post in the mornings. That's just because it's me. But when you post, I think all of this is primary in terms of what you post and in terms of who you're being. The times that you post can be easily looked up. But here's the thing, if everyone's looking up the best times to post, then everyone's posting at that time. It's just, it's just a higher demand. It's just higher competition. So I think the time of post is less important. Obviously, if you're posting at 3 a.m. in the morning and you want to engage with local people, there might be a disconnect there, right? So have some responsibility and be responsible with that type of thing. But that would be my advice, is focusing on this is more important. Let's continue. I'll share with you guys how you can engage with one another and start supporting each other's content in a minute. I'll share a little bit about my program if you guys think you're the right fit. But before that, let me engage once again and share with you guys how this creates momentum. So you guys can see my slide again, I'm guessing. One second, I pressed the wrong thing. All right. So how this creates momentum is that the more engagement you get, the more reach you get, right? As I discussed before, the more engagement your post gets, the more Facebook's going to push your content out there. What happens when your content gets out there? More and more people see it, more and more people engage, which means that's more and more people for you to thank. That's more and more people for you to build relationships with. That's more people for you to serve at a higher level. And this is what happens. The more relationships you build, the more people engage with your content, the more your content gets engaged, the more reach it gets. And it's an endless cycle of just more and more engagement, more and more reach, more and more relationships. Until you're getting a post that goes out there that gets 100, 200, 300 pieces of engagement, and you've built relationships with a lot of those people. Can you see how once you get to that point, which doesn't take very long, that will start supporting your business? You'll have more people supporting your journey, more people learning about how you help people. And then when you do have a post out there that offers a call to action, you'll get more and more engagement, right? More and more people jump into your programs. And because you've added the right people, you've built relationships with them, you've got to know them, they like, know, and trust you. You know who's a good fit for your program, and they know it too. We're starting to see this. Most people are just putting out good content. It's getting very little engagement. And then they're like, I don't know what to do next. Right? And they're wondering why. They're wondering what they need to do to get more content out there. And then they're just going through the same cycle. Right? And then they find themselves stuck. Working on this is what allows you to break that barrier, right? So that you can get more engagement, you can have more people learning about your programs, and you can be very, very confident that you have your programs filling up with the right people. Hopefully this is making sense. Now, how do I get started? This is where we can all work together to supporting each other's content. Here's how. I'm going to create a post in the serving circle. I should already have it set up. Now I'm going to create this post, and in the comments of the post, you can put a link to your content, to your posts. where then you can start supporting one another. So not only are you going to put you're going to comment with a link to your post, but you're also going to look at everyone else who has posted, go into their posts and engage with those so that we can support each other. Because the more they get supported, the more they get pushed out, right? So I just put a post in the serving circle that you'll see, and it says, hey, Facebook masterminders, what's your content that you'd like to share? It looks like this, if you guys can see. You have two options. You can either create a post today or tomorrow with a milestone or a role model post, or if you already have a post out there that you've already made, it's already posted, that has got a lot of engagement, you can put the link to that one and put it in that in the comments. And then once that happens, people are going to start engaging with your post, build relationships with them, right? Build relationships with them, whether they're in here in this event, in the serving circle or not, whether they're with other people from other, from other social circles. Thank them, support them, right? Be in a space of service. And what you'll find is you'll start getting engagement and you'll start building relationships very, very quickly. So Sasha, like, how do you link to your post? So in your post on Facebook, I believe if you go to that post, there'll be an option where you can grab the link, right? So I think even if you share it, or if you go to like the downward arrow, there will be a link. You can create a link to the post. Does everyone know how to do it? Let me bring up the chat. So type in yes if you know how to do that. Type in no if you don't. I might be able to share with you guys. So when you go on your phone, if you click the three arrows on your post, at the bottom, you'll see it says copy link. You see that? It says copy link at the bottom. So if you press the three arrows on your post, if you're on your phone, you press the three arrows. At the bottom, it'll say copy link. You can copy that link. And then you can go into the post in the serving circle and comment. Put that link in the comments. So I'll give you guys some time to do that. So Lisa doesn't see it on your computer. Maybe you might need to do it on your phone. But even on your computer, if you click on your post in the URL, it'll come up with the link as well. In the URL on your computer, it'll come up as well. So there are ways in which you can grab the link to that post and put it in the serving circle under the post that I've created. And therefore, you can all start engaging with one another. If not, so what link are we talking about? The post on our personal profile. Yeah, so on your personal profile, choose one post. Choose one post that gets, whatever you like. It might be a post that's already got a lot of engagement, or you might want to choose to create a new post. It's up to you. But in that post, that's the link you want to grab. If not, if you guys don't know how, what you can do is on the post that I created saying, hey, Facebook Masterminders, what's the content you want to share? Even just put a link to your personal page. If you put a link to your personal page, people will be able to go to your personal page, and then they'll be able to engage with some of your content there and start to support it. Even if you just want to type in the post as a comment and say hello, just so people can engage with you and start to support you, and you can support them as well. And therefore you can start building relationships and start expanding people's content. Everyone on board? Andrew is on it. As long as you engage with that post, people will see that you're a part of it, and then you can build relationships with those people. So that's the default. The default, if you can't figure out how to grab the link, then just type hi, just type hey, just type whatever you like to type and whatever you want to share, and then you can engage with everyone else on that post as well. But I thought I'd set that up for you guys so that you can just start implementing this stuff. Really start implementing this stuff. So you can create more milestone posts, more role model posts. People can actually start engaging with your content. So Andrea hasn't started posting on her personal page, but we'll start doing that. Perfect. Now, I'll also mention that you don't have to always have calls to action. You don't have too many calls to action, and people see that as spam if you always have a call to action, and you don't want it to be too businessy. If it's too businessy on your personal page, might get flagged by Facebook. But mixed in with a sprinkle of your business and a sprinkle of call to actions is perfect. So Christina says, does it have to be a role model or milestone post of yourself? So you want it to be of it's important for it to be of yourself. People need to like, know, and trust you, because when they jump into your programs, they're really not jumping into the program. They're really not buying the program, they're buying you, right? They feel like they're invested in you. And so that's why building that like, know, and trust and having people learn about your life is really important. Yeah, so you guys can take time with this. You don't have to comment on the post right now. You can do that later as well, but I thought I'd offer that as an option so you guys can just start getting the momentum building. All right. I'm also open to have some Q&A in a little bit as well. If you guys want to, if you have some time. So all this together. So what do I do with the leads? This is really important. So if you guys are doing all the posts and stuff, come back to me. Come back. Because here's the question. What do I do with all these leads? Once you start doing this for a couple of weeks or a few weeks, and even if you're doing this for a few months and you're getting some real engagement, the question is, what do I do with all these leads that are coming in, with all this engagement? What do I do with it now? Right? Because engagement doesn't necessarily lead to a return on your investment, right? It comes down to your messaging. Your messaging is super important. What's your messaging? Your messaging is how you describe your business and how you get people from A to B. Your messaging is the communication that you put out to people that is all about how you help, how you serve, how you get people from A to B. Here's what I describe. You don't want to have a leaking bucket, because if you have holes, plenty of holes in a bucket, it doesn't matter how much water you put into it. It'll always leak. It won't remain full, right? No matter how much water you put in. But if you have a bucket that's tight, that's actually solid, you can fill that bucket up. So a lot of people, if you get a lot of engaging content and you're getting a lot of people learning about your business and a lot of people who are interested, what actually makes them jump into your program is your messaging, right? It's your messaging and your communication about your business. Here's what I describe it. 90% of your ROI in terms of your business success financially comes down to your messaging and your offer. It's all about your messaging and your offer. It needs to be clear, compelling, and calls them to action. This is what I describe as effective communication. Effective communication is clear, it's compelling, and it calls people to action. This is how you change lives. On the call, a few of my clients who are on here, the call I had with my clients in the paid group, I was honing in on this, on how their message needs to be clear, needs to be compelling, and needs to call people to action, because this is how you change lives. You change lives through your communication. If you have communication where it changes someone's perspective, where they call to action, where they invest in themselves, where they actually take some steps forward that's going to change their life, that's how you change lives. You do that through your words, whether it's written or whether it's in video. And this is what it looks like. Your audience says, I understand, I'm interested, and I'm inspired to act. Right? I'll give you an example. Some coaches or business owners will say, let me give an example. I help people reach more areas of self-love so they can feel empowered to create accurate decisions in their business or accurate decisions in their relationships. Now that can sound nice. That can sound very articulate to say, look, I help people reach levels of self-love and have them feel empowered in their relationships. But can you feel your brain be like, I don't really get that, right? It might make sense to the coach. It might make sense to the business owner, but it doesn't make sense to your audience. Your audience mind's like, I can't grasp that. And here's why. We have what I call is the primal test. When someone's scanning through content, when someone's scanning through their feed on Facebook, unconsciously they're asking themselves the question, how is this helping me survive or thrive? Right? Anyone who studied Donald Miller and the story brand, everything like that, will recognize this. But our unconscious mind is always asking, is this helping me survive or thrive? And that's why when I say, hey, I help people reach levels of self-love and have them feel empowered in their relationships, your brain goes, this isn't helping me survive or thrive, and therefore I'm going to tune out. I don't get it. But if you have a message that says, hey, I help your relationship stop falling apart. I'll help you save your marriage. If your marriage is falling apart and someone says, I'm going to help you save your marriage, your brain gets it. It passes the primal test. It says, I understand how this is helping me survive or thrive. And therefore your brain pays attention, right? This is what is really, really key, because if you have a lot of engagement and then you have a message for your business that's clear, it's compelling, and it calls people to action, you'll have them jump into your program if it's the right fit. But if you have a lot of engagement and your messaging is lofty, long-worded, and confusing, people will continue to support your content, but they won't understand your business. They won't get it because it won't pass the primal test. Can you guys feel that within yourself? When you see business owners explain their business and it can sound articulate, but your brain just doesn't get it, that's because their messaging is either not clear, it's not compelling, doesn't call people to action. Right? Type a yes in the chat if that makes sense. Is this making sense? And is your message passing the primal test? It might make sense to you. Does it make sense to your audience? Does it make sense to those who you know is going to be a perfect fit for your program? Really, really important. Beautiful. So make sure your messaging is clear, compelling, calls people to action. Your messaging and your offer is 90% of the business. 90% of your business success. This is the business component. It comes down to your messaging and your offer. So when you couple those things, this is what I call the heart-centered CEO. When you couple your spirituality with who you're being with this business strategy, it's your marketing and your message, right? If you're missing either component, things won't resonate. Things won't be in harmony. You can use all these business strategies and you can even get a lot of profit. But if it's not aligned with who you're being and who you want to become, it won't be sustainable. And vice versa. A lot of people can have in their spirituality be in the aspect of being, but sometimes their message isn't reaching the right amount of people because they haven't integrated the business strategy, or their marketing message isn't tight, right? So it takes both. It takes both spirituality, business strategy. I'm sure you guys can feel where one might be lacking and where one might be your strength, and how you can start combining both of them. So this is, I don't even know. It's actually quite funny, but the paid program is actually called the Heart-Centered CEO. I don't like that as a name of my program, but it's there anyway. I launched the program for all the beta members who are in there. And I said, look, I don't have a name yet. I don't have a name yet. I'm just going to call it this. And I haven't thought of a better name. So if anyone has a better name, reach out and let me know, because I'm keen to brainstorm. But I call it the Heart-Centered CEO because that's what I find. The Heart-Centered CEO is the side of you who uses business strategies. You know how to get more reach. You know how to create more impact, and you know how to create consistent income. Right? By consistent income, I like the goal of creating 5 to 10K months consistently. So it's the side of you who knows how to do that, but it's the side of you who does that and puts all strategy through heart, right? Through compassion, through understanding, through your heart's calling. Because if you use, a lot of people are using business strategies to manipulate or to just get a result that they're attached to. This is the side of you that uses the business strategy through heart, through spirit, through connection, through true felt contribution, right? So that you can serve at a higher level. So you can serve at a higher level knowing that that's your Dharma. This is your Dharma. This is you putting out something in the world that truly is your calling. And that's why the theme is fill your programs to fill your purpose, with one L here in Australia. Maybe I'll put 3 L's next time to everyone's involved. That's what this is all about. So calls to action. As I mentioned, my paid course isn't open yet. It'll actually be open in 2 days. And the reason being is because I want you guys to implement this stuff for more engagement first. Implement this stuff on more engagement so that you can have more people coming to you. You can have more people engaging with your content. You can start building relationships. And then if you think it's the right fit for you to learn more about it and to turn that engagement into paying clients, then you can reach out to me and we can jump on a chat and see if it's the right fit. But I'll send you guys the link to book a chat, and as you'll see, it won't be, there's no spots available in the next couple of days. The spots are still closed, but I'm thinking of creating 6 more spots for people to jump in so they can start creating 5 to 10K months, integrating their spirituality and their business strategy, right? Whether it's exactly what Lisa did and create a shift that you have with business and your mindset, right? Or whether you want to implement, whether you have your spirituality there and you want to integrate more business strategy and help couple those, then you can definitely do that. So these are the next steps. So I'll give you guys the link. I'll stop sharing and I'll find the link. But right now you can book a call. Like I said, next couple of days, it's not open, but you can use the link now to book for later in the week or next week. And we can just jump on a chat. You can ask some questions about how you can apply this in your business straight away. And then we can see if this is the right fit for you as well. But feel free in the Q&A to type any questions. So I'm happy to hang out for a bit and make sure your questions are all answered. So put in the chat. That's the link to book a call with me. If you want to book a call and just talk about business, if you want to just talk about what's going on in terms of, your current strategy and how you can start implementing this into your business specifically, jump on a chat. We can have a quick talk to see how I might be able to help. So these are the steps. 1, if it's cool, book a call. We'll get on a chat. 2, put a link to your content or your personal page in the post that I created in the serving circle. And then 3, start engaging with people. Start building those relationships, right? Start getting engagement. Start building that momentum. Because once that momentum's moving, Facebook's going to know that. Facebook's going to help you create more engagement, create more reach, right? So anyone have any questions, type them in the Q&A. I know this is quite a long session. I'm losing my voice, but happy to be here for you guys. If no one has any questions, beautiful. Here's your takeaway. Your takeaway: breathe in the version of you who's already achieved your outcome. Breathe in that version of you who's already achieved your outcome. Right now, feel that side of you. The more you feel that side of you, the more you'll make decisions and actions based on that place. And the more your life will change. I can guarantee you, when I made my decision to jump into the business program that was 12 grand, I didn't have 12 grand, offered a lot of fear. But once I made that decision, it was like freedom. It really was freedom. What I started learning was that it's not the other side of the decision that's scary. It's the decision itself. So you may have some content that's scary that you want to release, that you want to share with the world. You might have a video that you want to create that's scary. You want to start a program, put a new program out there that's scary. But it's in the decision where all the fear is. I can guarantee you won't be scared on the other side. It's making the decision. Once I jumped into the program, I was like, awesome. I was like, I need to make my first 10K month for this to work. But once I made the decision, once I put down the deposit, I felt free. I'm like, you know what? I'm moving forward as my best self. And I felt that. And therefore other people could feel it too. Could you guys feel Lisa and feel her new level of certainty, her new level of confidence, her new level of inspiration? She's finding out what's possible for herself. because she made some decisions. And people will feel that in you as well. They will feel your new energy, your new heart, this thing that's flowing through you, this divine gift. People will feel that in you. I guarantee it. If you start making decisions based on who you need to become, based on who you want to become, instead of based on the current circumstances. So release some content that's scary. Release some content that you're like, holy shit, I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel called to do so. Do it. It's time for people to start leading instead of just teaching. People don't want to be taught anymore. They want to be led. They truly want someone to be there for them that's taking the action themselves. And that's what I feel. So breathe in that side of you. Where is that side of you in your body? Breathe that in, feel it, act from that place. Put out some content that's scary. Use some courage. Sit down and be there for that internal 5-year-old that's freaking out. And start being an example for yourself. You are all truly divine spirits that have a unique gift. You have a unique gift that you know is being pulled and is wanting to get out there. It really is time to get out there. So that's all I have for you guys. Once again, I'll put the link if you guys want to have a chat. That's the link. Even if you just want to get on a chat and have a couple questions about what I went over, happy to serve you guys, happy to help. And I truly just want to, if you guys just put out one more piece of content that is engaging, that's exciting, that's your heart, that's your spirit, I've done my job here. I've definitely done my job, because if more people see your heart, they'll see their own as well. But thank you guys so much for jumping on live. This has been really, really cool. I'm thinking about doing these more and more, especially around helping people engage and helping people support each other's content. I'm thinking about doing it more and more because it's a lot of fun for me, and I know you guys get a lot of value. So definitely let me know. Reach out and say hi to me, and let me know any feedback as well that you guys have. Any questions, anything like that. But have an awesome week ahead, guys. It's going to be a good one. I'll see you guys in the serving circle and all the collaborative calls, everything like that. We can just continue to roll this momentum. Plenty of love to you guys. Plenty of love and support. Have an amazing week, guys. Take care.